Previously on Ease 9 Monstrum Nox, the party fought Rene Neiltiller, who had more bullet hell than the original. Inside the prison, they met Smirmov Noah, Jules' missing father, but the latter was voluntarily working for the Knights. Meanwhile, Adol, Marius, and Xavier made their own attempt to escape through the Gllian mines.
Have a moment?
Did I make the milestone yet? I did.
Impressive as always, Adol.
Okay.
I'd like you.
Wanderer Cloak. Seems as though a majority of this map has been completed. However, there are many locations outside of town that remain unexplored. I look forward to seeing what geographical wonders lie in wait. Stats up with distance traveled. It's already got over 100 on both. The best stat boosting item by far. If the rumors are true, then that bastard Lindheim, ugh! Iris wears a pensive brooding expression. You can't help but worry about her. Talk to Iris. Adol. I was looking for you, actually. Thanks for saving me the trouble. You have my gratitude for helping me escape the prison. My business is done here, so I will be taking my permanent leave. That's sudden. Where are you going?
Hold on.
Is it not obvious? The Governor General's office, you dimwit. Wasn't he missing? Now the Cardinal has returned. I no longer have any use for you people. He returned? Boo-hoo, what are you going to do? Cry? Go make yourself useful and tell the others. Bye. What are you following me for? I told you already, leave me be. If you do not, then I will have to kill you. And I would rather not dull my blade any more than I must. Iris, where are you off to? Did something happen to Iris? She seemed to have left in a hurry. I see, something did happen, didn't it? I told Dandelion stuff about Iris' decision to leave. Why? And she didn't even say goodbye. And she was just starting to get along with everyone too. I thought she enjoyed helping out at the Dandelion. Maybe it was precisely because she was growing attached to you all. However, the return of the Cardinal is deeply concerning. Do you know if this news has already been publicly known, become publicly known, Dogi? Seems like it. I only just heard about it from one of the customers. We're on the streets at the missing Cardinal's back to his office. They're also talking about how the Governor General's office was up and running again. I'm not so sure. It sounds fishy to me. I agree. It's highly improbable. There would have been a formal announcement. Fabrication or not, Iris believes it to be true, and this is the result. Oh no, is this a trap to lure her out? If only I had been more attentive. Don't beat yourself up, Parks. It's not your fault. She's one of us, so it's up to all of us to stop her before she does something she'll regret. Speak for yourself. Run's got a death wish. I say let her have it. I'm dying to see if her blade's as sharp as that tongue of hers. This isn't the time for hogwash, Credo. We still not yet know her rationale behind her desire to assassinate the Cardinal. However unlikely, the repercussions of such an action would be dire. Furthermore, the Monstrums would inevitably be associated with the murder of an official. After we've worked so hard to build up our reputation. But the most important thing is that we can't let a friend go down the wrong path. Let's bring her back.
Yeah.
It's the right thing to do. Alright, there's not a moment to lose. Forks and I will stay here to look for information. And someone has to be here in case she changes her mind. Indeed. The Monstrums are better suited to deal with the unexpected anyway. I wish you all good luck. We'll go to the Governor General's office once it's advantageous for us. Something may have happened already, for all we know. We'll have to be careful. Iris of the Storm. Iris just hightailed it before we even figured out if the rumors were true. She's serious, that's for sure, but she's gotta be stopped before she does something she regrets.
Good work out there. Have a moment?
I'm to blame for failing to watch Iris more closely. But Dogi is right, there's no time for contrition. We will continue searching for information. May fortune be with you, Adol. Wonder what's going on, they seem pretty panicked. Excuse me, did something happen? Well, there was a small fire over at the Governor General's office. We're still sorting out exactly what happened, but we're suspecting arson. Arson? That's right, apparently a live coal was thrown through an open back window. We should consider ourselves lucky that Romn wasn't more flammable. I sure think what might have happened had we been a step too late. Some luck, but this isn't the Monstrum incident, we're short enough on hands as it is. We'll give the area another once-over for now. As for all of you, if you see anyone suspicious, report it immediately. Will do. This has Iris written all over it. Especially considering her mission. I'll bet this was just a distraction for the guards. In which case, chances are she's already snuck into the Governor General's office. We have to stop her then, before she does something she can never take back. To do so would require our own inconspicuous point of entry. Perhaps we should try giving the building a once-over ourselves. There's not enough Crimson Line points. We're currently in the midst of investigating the arson attempt. I have my misgivings about certain aspects of it, but nevertheless, rest assured we will capture whoever is responsible. Hold on, there's Crimson Line point there! Haha! Okay, that trapdoor is the one we need to go into. This looks like the exit they used to clean the roof. Well, one man's exit is another Monstrum's entrance, right? Right, let's hurry inside before it's too late. Adol and the Monstrum snuck into the building from the roof. They then head toward the Governor General's office, taking care to remain hidden from the staff inside all the while. Lindheim isn't back yet. Do not play dumb with me. Everyone knows the Governor General's office is still running. But it's true, we still don't have any idea where he's gone. We're only acting in accordance with his policies from before his disappearance. Damn it all. Iris! What the heck are you guys doing here? Those clothes, you're the Monstrums. Don't worry, we're only here to stop Iris. Whatever your reasons, they can't be worth killing in cold blood. Life of an assassin isn't for you. This won't solve anything. Indeed, there is no resolution to be gained from this. They probably just replace him with a worse guy anyways. Ugh, shut up, shut up, shut up. You think I do not know that already? Whatever it takes to avenge my father is nothing compared to what Romn has done. But for all the people cared, those invaders might as well be the rightful rulers of Gllian. They stole all out of father's hands, from the hands of our family. Your family? You don't mean... I don't believe it. Miss, no, my lady. Could you perchance be Her Highness Princess Eleanor? Eleanor? Princess? The Iris you know is an alias made by the man who raised me to protect my identity. My real name is Eleanor, firstborn princess of the Gllian royal family. Or it was, before their downfall after the Erdlingen War 8 years ago. As far as the rest of the world knows, I just ended up dropping off the face of the earth. What? Iris, your royalty? I've heard stories of how the royal family met their end, but... I was there, hidden in a closet. I watched as Roman soldiers gutted my father like swine. Everything went black after that. The shock was too much for me to bear. When I came to, I had already been left in the care of society's shadows. Since then, the thought of revenge has been the only thing keeping me going. Revenge against those who pried Gllian's crown from my father's cold dead hands. And revenge on the cardinal who took his place as if it were nothing. But I could not even manage to do that much. I will not get another chance on his life if I am captured again. So I'll just have to settle for taking yours in his place. Is this really what you want? Gah. Stay out of my way. This is the only thing I have left to live for. Iris. I understand your pain, Your Highness. But if I may, I'd like to shine a bit of light on your circumstances. Cardinal Lindheim, he did everything in his power to try and save the royal family. He what? During the war 8 years ago, he saw a path to mediation as the Cardinal of the Church. He had even exchanged letters with your father, the King of Gllian, to that very end. When their lust for glory, the Roman army turned their swords to fill the royal castle. Your disappearance has haunted him as his greatest regret ever since, Your Highness. Then 3 years ago, the Cardinal was set to succeed the previous Governor General. He felt it his responsibility as a Roman to restore some measure of peace in this land, and to one day deliver you this letter. The acting Governor General has hands Iris a sealed letter. This letter. My dearest Eleanor, the end of this bloodshed will mark a new beginning for Gllian's history. I have secretly made arrangements to secure even the slightest chance of you making it out alive. You are still so young, but I believe in a new path for this. New Gllian lies in your future. As I write this letter, I ask you to remember me not as a king, but as your father. I love you, my child. My greatest wish, above all else, is a happy life for you. Father, Cardinal Lindheim came across this letter after the war. Since his appointment, we've been told to give this to you should you ever be found. He considered it the least he could do to atone for his failure to intervene. Kuh! How could I have been so stupid? My father, the man who raised me. I never stopped to think of how they might have felt. For 8 years, my only thoughts have been of retribution. What happened to me? Iris, you can't blame yourself. It was 8 whole years ago. You couldn't have been older than 4 or 5. Anyone else in your position would have ended up feeling the same way. A new path is still out there.
Yeah.
A new path, huh? For better or worse, none of your ploys at assassination have managed to succeed. The outcome of this attempt is at your intended victim's discretion. What happened here today was nothing more than a little tiff. You merely came to receive a letter from your late father, is all. I don't see anything worth reporting about that. Ah. Real slap on the wrist you're given there. Wish you all be that generous about me going feral in town. Wait to ruin the moment. Relay this message to Lindheim for me when he returns. I will leave the sovereignty of Gllian in your hands, for now. But if ever I see you let the welfare of this land or its people get put into peril, I will kill you dead without a second thought to spare. I'll be sure to let him know. Adol and the others managed to make their escape before the rest of the staff arrived. The acting Governor-General kept to his word, covering up the incident entirely. Sure enough, no one came in pursuit of them. The group soon made their return with Iris to tell Yars of her true identity. After doing so, she was once again accepted back into the Dandelion.
Alright! That went great!
And Pusa's gloves. I left thinking I would never return and I would not be welcomed back. Then you people dragged me back here against my will. I do not know what to think anymore. I just need to sit down and reconsider my life.
Have a moment.
As things have settled down, my worries have been assuaged. Though I feel it was justified after learning of Iris's austere milieu. I wish to steer toward a brighter future.
Sure thing.
Who would guess the kid with a mouth was the princess of the Gllian royal family? Doesn't look like she completely understands what happened, though. We better keep an eye on her, same as always.
What should I do?
I tell you, Marcel, you get more and more stubborn by the day. Don't you think you ought to give in just this once? The poor boy was so distraught he came all the way to pay me a visit. How many times do I have to tell you? I'm here to get work done, full stop. Yet here you are wasting valuable time bringing up my numbskull apprentice. And there you go again. Oh, you kids need something? Well, kind of. We received your request at the bar. Oh, why didn't you say so? We craftsmen could use an outside hand. Might we borrow you for a bit, seeing as you're already here and all? Sure, we'll help you out.
Yes.
Great, you kids are real lifesavers. As for a little issue here. It's about Marcel's apprentice, Potts. We need to bring him back to us. Bring him back to you? What happened to him? He hasn't gone missing, has he? Now look what you've done, Burling. Your lousy explanation has got the gals all up in a tizzy. At this rate, you'll end up making things more of a mess than they already are. Would you listen to him? The thanks I get for submitting the request he wouldn't. Long story short, Marcel and Potts have been having a little master-apprentice quarrel. That's no news for them, usually, but it's gotten to the boiling point this time around. If only that brat fired up the forge half as well as he did that temper of his. You still haven't told us about what actually happened. Oh, sorry about that, boyo. We're blacksmiths, not wordsmiths. In any case, we have the craft guild have provided apprenticeships for ages now. It's customary for aspiring young artisans to join workshops and receive training. But where an apprentice ever becomes a full-fledged craftsman is up to their master. It's not uncommon for youngsters to start feeling impatient or unappreciated. And so that half-wit apprentice of mine went and made a shield I never taught him. All the while spouting some haughty nonsense about putting what he's learned to practice. No respect for the old ways, or workshop permission for that matter. The audacity. I gave him a good yelling too, said a rookie like him needed to master the basics first. Potts ended up leaving the workshop after that. He ran off to the plains with set shield in hand, determined to prove his worth. I like the cut of this kid's jib. But the plains are quite dangerous alone. Wouldn't it would be best to be returned at once. It would. I tried stopping him on my way out of town, but you know what he said? You're just siding with Master Marcel, huh? All you care about here is damage control. Screw this. Master never planned on training an outsider like me anyway. Or well, something like that. I'm not so good if young people speak. He called himself an outsider. Sounds like this is more complex than a situation than we thought. Hardly worth all this fussing around. Sounds like the man of the workshops had just about enough of all this. I'll do asking for him then. Can you bring Potts back? Sorry he put you up to this. Burling just mentioned it, but the kid ran off toward the Gllian Plains. Seems he was making his way southwest. It sounds like that's where we're headed. Let's go search for him. Alright, I'm ready now. I'm gonna do it. I'm really gonna do it. And then Master will be forced to admit he was wrong. But it won't hurt to be extra sure I'm ready. Oh, there he is. So this is Potts, huh? There will be a lot less explaining if we're in our normal forms. What's dangerous in your normal forms? Hey, you! What, me? Who are you? You know the Monstrums explained the situation in the Leary Potts. I get it, Master sent you. Gosh, first you guys and now he's involved Master Burling too. Has he got a shred of dignity left? No dignity, huh? Remind me, who's the spoiled brat who abandoned ship over an argument with his master again? Come back to the city with us. There are too many monsters around here. You wouldn't want your runaway excursion to turn into a runaway corpse recovery, would you? No, but I can't go back yet. Not until I've proven the value of this. A prototype shield. Oh, this is what you made without your master's approval. Yes, I wanted to make a shield that was as light as it was sturdy. If I could just prove that it worked against monsters, then that bullish master of mine will have no choice but to accept my genius. Maybe you're the one who won't accept it. You're too scared to face him. You may have left in a huff, but where's that gallantry now? You weren't watching me, were you? What do you expect? I've never slain a beast before. I only planned it up to this point, but now my stupid legs won't move. Hey, you guys look like a rough crowd. You probably killed monsters before. How about you test out my shield for me? You wish for us to be your test subjects. Exactly, it makes perfect sense. I'm a craftsman, not a brute warrior like you guys. Sure, I could go beat up some monsters, but it would be even better in your hands. I think I follow. Man, you had me at beat up some monsters. It wouldn't hurt to give us a whirl. If we do, would you come back with us?
Well...
It's a deal. You better not run away after like you did from your master. You can trust me. Here, take it. Prototype shield received. One of you is going to have to equip it then. Then you have to kill 15 mushroom monsters in the plains. That's a lot. Supposedly it explode after being offed. I figured I should demonstrate its agility. Okay, take it away. It's gonna be like a debuff to me, isn't it? Let's just be done with this. Commence this experiment. Okay. It's pretty weak. Okay, conditions fulfilled. Cool. You guys really did it. So how was the shield? It was mediocre. It ain't half bad. It was strong enough and it was lightweight too. People line up for this. That is, if you can forge it on your own. I see, that's all the testing I need for today. We have fulfilled our end of the contract. You will return to the city as promised. A deal's a deal, lead the way. Finally, you'll get to show Master that I was right after all along. All of you return to Art-isan Lane along with Potts. The guild masters awaited you. Hooey, glad you still in one piece. Thanks a million, kiddos. So the prodigal apprentice returns. Just thought I'd come back to prove you wrong, you old has-been. So here it is, my masterpiece. Let's see you play your good-for-nothing apprentice down after taking a look at this. We'll see about that, you can see, little brat. Potts hands his prototype shield over to Master Marcel. I'm impressed, Potts. Takes some real nerve to strut on in parading this around as a masterpiece. Good. Hey, come on now. Still, it's light, sturdy, and easy to handle. You got the makings of something here. But prototype or not, a piece like this is a goal a dozen among craftsmen. If you can't even understand that much, shut your damn mouth. You'll never recognize me as a craftsman no matter what I do, will you? Will you? Why even keep me around? So you have someone to pick on and do your chores? You talk about the old ways and tradition, but you can't even stand where I come from. Enough already. Don't go making assumptions, Potts. Being a craftsman is about one thing: skill. No one here's to judge. No one's here to judge you for being an outsider from Romn. You want my recognition? You gotta earn it. Your skills just aren't there yet. So that's what he meant by outsider. The number of Romans here did increase after Gllian's annexation. It wasn't long after the war when you first knocked on my workshop door. At the time, most Gllians scorned Romans as callous invaders behind their backs. But still, you insisted on following behind bumbling old me without a single gripe. I'll admit, I started to grow fond of you over the years. Yet in all your time trading war with nothing to show, I never encouraged you even once. Master Marcel, I understand your feelings, that the way I run my workshop is outdated. Suppose I just couldn't bring myself to take any criticism from an amateur. Until now, that is. Huh? Didn't you hear me? I said this shield has the makings of something. It's rough around the edges, sure, but a little elbow grease and it'll make a fine product. What matters is that you finally produced something worthy of praise. You've got a ways to go before becoming a true craftsman, but that doesn't mean I can't listen to you once in a while. Master. First off, try tempering this shield again. A little refining should rein it out. You want to put what you learned to practice, here's your big chance. After that, you can gripe about how I run the place as much as you want. Yes, Master. Aw, Potts, I'm happy for him. The hell do we always stick around these mushy-ass happy endings anyways? Oh, it's like they always say, fair weather cometh after a storm. Thanks again for your help, everyone. Afterwards, Potts told Adol and his friends to stay and wait. Following a short wait, he then handed his refined creation over to them. Feather Shield. Is this really the same shield from before? You have improved upon it considerably for such a short period of time. Yeah, it came together somehow or other thanks to Master Marcel's advice. Of course it did. Like I keep saying, you've still got a long ways to go. Can, old man, you made your point. Anyway, I've obviously got a lot to learn before I become a true craftsman. So I'll just have to keep busting my ass in their master's instruction until I get there. We'll put the shield to good use. Looking forward to your next piece.
Thank you.
Can't say I know when I'll be, but you can be sure I won't disappoint. And thanks again for everything. We know who to call next time something comes up.
Job well done.
Sorry for causing all this trouble. It's almost like I ran away from home. Looks like my technique just isn't quite where I want it yet, either. But until it is, I'll be training under Master Marcel with everything I've got. That reminds me, your bar. It's called Dandelion, right? I'll have to add taking care of Tito and Archie onto the list of things to pay you back for. At any rate, on behalf of all of us here at the Craft Guild, we owe you kids one.
Hey.
Listen to him. Kids making as much of a fuss as I did way back when. Never mind that. Anyway, Potts' handiwork was more than I was expecting, I'll give it that. But be he Romn and Gllian, his technique's still plenty rough around the edges. I'll be putting his nose to the grindstone until he smooths it out, believe you me.
What do you need?
Oh, they're all so expensive. Oh, I gotta make 6 of these somehow. Oh, we've come. Let us begin the trial at once then. Are you prepared? Wait, not so fast. We're still not even sure what you're requesting. What kind of trial is this exactly? My proposal couldn't possibly be any simpler. Your capabilities have been improving steadily thus far. It's about time I train you to reach your fullest potentials as Monstrums. Our fullest potentials? That makes this a private lesson of sorts then. Well, why didn't you say so? You and me, Aprilis, 1-1. I'll take you on any day of the week. I'm afraid that cannot be done, but fear not. You still get the chance. You'll still get a challenge you so desire. What say you, Crimson King? Let's get this trial going.
In that case...
You express your interest in taking on Aprilis' challenge. Very well, let's begin at once. That's a lot of dudes. Now, Monstrum, showed me to extend your power, but they're not all Lemures. What the hell? Arg, fine, but only because we gotta. What a troublesome bunch. Let's make quick work of them. Alright, starts out with one enemy of each damage type that you have to deal with. The birds can hit you from up on the platforms, but the other enemies cannot do so. Yeah, so it's best to just start with Hawk and try to look for a way to take out the birds since they can inflict confusion. But the slimes are really fast. They're the same as those ceiling slimes that are really fast and like to rush you down. Yeah, good thing Hawk's knives track. It actually makes him a pretty good long-range attacker in some situations.
You're good, but can you handle the real thing?
Real thing? Do you mean...
Oh, what is this thing? It looks like the golem from the ruins.
I sense an immense power from it.
Now this is what I call entertainment!
Striking up.
Alright, all of these enemies are very over-leveled. And they can and their close-range laser can one-shot you. Even their missiles hit really hard. So I ended up just spamming Hawk's long-range attack. I probably would have been better off bringing Jules to this fight instead, since Jules has better long-range options compared to Hawk. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much how I'm going to have to deal with these guys in the next dungeon. Just have Jules handle them, because their lasers just seem way too OP. Unless the dungeon... Apparently they're supposed to be in the next dungeon, but I don't know if the dungeon version is stronger or weaker. Yeah, just the missiles alone are killing me and forcing me to use items. Now that's what I call a challenge. Guess it's worth taking that she-devil up on their demands from time to time. You're the only one enjoying yourself here, you know. Yeah, laser comes out way too quickly. Yeah, I'm at my limit. That battle was of comparable difficulty to that of the full moon. Worse than the full moon because of those how hard those golems hit. The trial is complete. Exceptionally done, everyone. While there is much room for improvement, I am most pleased with your performance. Thanks? Where do you even get these monsters? I'm not even sure where to sire in relief or exasperation, or both. Still, Aprilis seems a bit more chipper than usual today, don't you think? Krisha. Huh? Yes? You're greatly lacking in fortitude, as you are no doubt already aware. Try varying the pace of your movements. Doing so should save you much undue harm. Yeah, okay, I'll keep that in mind. And then, Jules, your actions, while methodical, could use more efficiency. Anticipate your adversary's next move before proactively responding in kind. You'll find your fighting prowess should be much more refined as a result. I see, I was not aware of such. Thanks for the tip. Yufa, you fight with your utmost, and Creo, your battle instincts are a boon to be sure. But your emotional volatilities have a tendency to undermine your performance. Exercise temperance and you will better cultivate your respective potentials. Oh, was that supposed to be a compliment? If you are banking on making me feel all fuzzy inside, you're out of luck. But seeing as I had such a good time here, I'll save you the trouble of making a scene. Would that your judgment were always so sound. In any event, here's your reward for completing the trial. Fenrir Claw. Thanks. No advice for me? Other than just Splash Guard? You have no need for it. Nevertheless, I will still be counting on your efforts in battle, Crimson King. And I'll be expecting even greater diligence from the rest of you from here on, Monstrums.
I'm just happy we could help.
Okay, and that's one milestone.
Whoa! Guess it showed up.
I'll say again, you fought splendidly in your training. With the Crimson King at the helm, I expect even greater results in the future.
Jeez.
Oh hey, where are you guys out on from the house for? Ugh, it's Yufa. What? Hey, don't ugh me. You're not getting up to any funny business behind my back, right? We sure aren't, see? Hell, shush. It's really not all that big a deal or anything, Yufa. We were just thinking of doing some shopping in the main square, that's all. The main square, you say? That's not really the sort of place kids should be going by themselves. My thoughts exactly. That's why I always have them go with me or Felix. I'm not so sure I can right now. We're a little pressed for time. But who said you had to come in the first place? Besides, it totally defeat the purpose if you did anyway. Yep, totally. Why? You guys really are playing something, aren't you? Oh, brother. I think I'm starting to catch on. Well, since we're here, why not?
In that case...
Are you sure? It's kind of out of the way, isn't it? Well, a short shopping trip shouldn't slow us down too much. I don't see any need for all of us to go, though. Why don't you chaperone them, Adol? Oh, no, I couldn't ask you to do all that. If anything, I should be the one... Whoop, no takebacks, we're going with Adol. Yay, congratulations, Adol. You can just watch over the place while we're gone, Yufa. And well, since you're always so busy, maybe you can take the time to relax a bit, too. Well, I have been pretty bushed, with the farm and the bar and all. So you three are way too much of a handful for Adol alone, so I should probably... I can go with him. After all, if there's anything I should be able to help with, it's shopping. And I too shall tag along as it were. Living in the Artisan Lane has likely imparted me with some measure of expertise. Wait, so all 3 of you get to go? Well, if you insist, I guess I could use a break or two. Just make sure to keep a good eye on them out there for me. As for you, Free, you'd better be on your best behavior, got it? Yes, ma'am. Woohoo, I love colossal waste of time. I'm gonna go get some shy over here. There. Always a reliable one, though I guess this isn't exactly his cup of tea. I'll keep an eye on Yupa. I wouldn't be surprised if she snuck off after you. Good luck out there. Oh yes, I had surmised we were unable to ask you this until now. Why is it you wish to go shopping in the main square? Well, we wanted to get some ingredients for making candy. Orange jets, to be specific. They're candied orange peels dipped in chocolate. We were going to make them to give to Yupa. Yup, it's like a thank you gift for all the hard work she does. Mom used to make them all the time back when she was alive. It was Yupa's favorite. That's where we got the idea. I see, a sensible decision. Wait, uses real peels. However, I struggle to comprehend the logic behind keeping a secret from Yupa. Well, things like this are more fun when they're a surprise. You'll get it once you see how happy it makes her. Satsu, I'll make sure to take note of it. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get shopping already. Hold on, you days, we should check what we need to get one more time. Let's see, I've got our list right here. Super sweet chocolate, extra juicy orange, pre-wrapping paper. Oh, I see, it's not a gift if it isn't wrapped after all. Everything we need should be either on this street or in the marketplace. Shall we get beginner search done? Yeah, let's go. Hello and welcome to the Trading Bureau. Anything I can help you with today? Oh yes, you handle direct imports here at the Bureau, right? Will you happen to have any brands of fine chocolate in stock? Hispanic chocolate's been pretty popular for its intense sweetness lately, as I recall. Well, you're in luck. We actually just got a shipment of it in just recently. Would you like to purchase some? Oh yes, please. Well, Krisha, you really know your chocolate. Oh no, it's not that. Pendleton sells chocolates from time to time, is all. I detected a delightful fragrance of cocoa. Yep, this is it alright. Pair this with some hot tea or coffee, and you've got an irresistible combination. Hey Mark. You can't have any, El. We need it for the sweets we're making Yupa, remember? Aw. How's that fair? We bought it, didn't we? Just buy some extra? Now, you'll still have some left over after we're finished. Well, if that is the case, why not make enough sweets for the entire family? Ooh, yes. What do you say, Mark? I guess I don't have a choice. Yupa's share takes priority, though, so don't go sneaking in any nibbles, okay? Okay. Well, hello there. Can I help you find anything? I understand you deal in various sundries and daily necessities. That being the case, do you got any wrapping paper? The pretty kind, none of that ugly stuff. It's gotta be the one that Yupa would like too. We're not gonna get anywhere asking him like that, you know. Wrapping paper, right? What do you think of this one here? This design's been pretty on trend for gifts and such lately. Ooh, this is a cute one. Look at the floral design. It's so colorful too. I think Yupa would like it for sure. Great, we'll take 100. Sorry about him. How much for just one? Okay. I threw in a ribbon for you too, free of charge. Wow, thanks, mister. We appreciate your generosity. My pleasure. Warms my heart to see them so excited about making a gift for her sister. Feel free to stop by again if you need anything else. Welcome. Step on in. I just got in a fresh shipment of fruits and... Oh, well, if it isn't the little Gambergs. Isn't Yupa with you today? Nope, she's at home resting. Oh, do you know each other? Yeah, Miss Paulette's been buying her produce wholesale since back when Dad ran the farm. Miss Paulette, do you happen to have any good oranges to make orange jets out of? We were thinking of making some to give to Yupa. My, how delightful. Yupa will be pleased as pie, I can tell you that. Though I can't say I'm familiar enough with these fancy sweets to know what works best. A good orange jet has a nice mix of bitter and sour in the middle to go to the sweet. So generally, the fresher the orange, the better. I see, in that case... The third orange from the right on the second row from the back should prove satisfactory. Or you mean this one? Well, I'll be. This orange is remarkably round and plenty ripe to boot. A little beauty like this will turn out delicious no matter what you do with it. Wow, that was amazing, Anemona. How do you know? Anemona, use your powers wisely, okay? Is it not wise to save us undue time and effort? Well, no harm, no foul, I guess. Here you are, Mark, dearie. Be careful taking it back with you. We will, thank you. Juicy orange? Well, that takes care of everything we needed. Thanks for coming along with us, everyone. It was nothing, really. We are always happy to help. Let's get home and start cooking. Yufa's gonna be so happy. Hey, slow down, you two. Pardon me just a moment. Oh, Miss, I'm Paulette, right? That's right, dear. I'm glad I caught you in time. I forgot to give you these, you see. Take them, they're on the house. I'd be very appreciative if you could deliver them to Yufa for me. You see, receive some fruit. Heh, to think those kids would go through all this trouble just to thank their sister. The four of them get along just wonderfully, the little angels that they are. I'd worry when their parents pass, but they truly are a family, through and through. A true family, huh? I presume you refer to Yufa having been adopted. Also, she's mentioned it to you as well then. Well, yes, so we don't really know all the details. Well, in that case, perhaps you ought to ask her yourself. It may bring her some small relief to share her past. Hey, slowpokes! What's the holdup, huh? We're heading home, remember? Yufa's waiting for us. With that, everyone made their way back to the agricultural district. While the kids made Yufa's present in secret, the others were tasked with keeping her busy. As they took a short stroll nearby, Adol and the others casually asked Yufa about her past. Well, that's right, I never told you about it, huh? I was sent into foster care as a child before my parents found and took me in. Then came Mark, Eudes, and Elle. We were raised no differently than any other siblings. Thanks to that, though, the three of them still don't know the truth. Oh. I see. Humph. But it seriously isn't anything worth worrying about, really. As far as they're concerned, I've never been anyone but their older sister. That's more than enough for me. I mean, I do have to tell them about it someday or another, of course. But well, that's easier said than done. Yufa. It'll be okay. I know that it sounds like I'm just saying that. Well, I'm sure they think of you the same way I think of my father and Carla. As do I for Rodaria and Melissa, though circumstances do differ a bit. At the very least, your connection to them is certainly more than you regard. You guys. Aha, there they are. Yufa. Okay, kiddos, spill. What have you all been up to? Don't think I haven't noticed how much you've been trying to keep me away from. Wait, that smell. Heh, here, Yufa, this is for you. Eudes hands over the homemade orangettes wrapped in floral paper. They're just like Mom used to make. That's right, they're orangettes. Orangettes, your favorite, Yufa. It's just we wanted to thank you for looking after us and all. It's not for any special occasion or anything, just, you know, because. We noticed you've been working hard and ever lately. With the farm, with work, probably a bunch of other things we don't even know about too. Ah. Listen, all we're saying is try not to overdo it, okay? Remember, me, Mark, and Elle are always here for you, and Dad and Mom too. Yep, you'll never get rid of us no matter what. You guys. Just when did you all get so grown up, huh? Oh, I can't take it anymore. Come here, you little rascals. Hey! Yufa, can't breathe. Deal with it. You're getting a mega hug whether you like it or not. Heh, mega hugs are so warm. Is this what families are supposed to do? Well, there you have it, Anemone. The power of a good surprise. Indeed, helping them was well worth the effort. I mean, I got some good sleep out of it, at least. Afterwards, Yufa shared the fruits of her siblings' work for everyone to enjoy. After eating their fill of heartwarming, if questionable tasting snack, they resumed their activities once more.
Always happy to help.
Apple, flour, mushroom, red meat. A lot of ingredients. Did we get the recipe, though? Thank you guys for everything. Heh, Yufa liked it. Girl, you free think you got the drop on me. But what will you do when I hug you to bits? No, Yufa, get away! Ha! What is our family? And that was one tasty orangette. Let's make them together next time, Yufa. Yufa always works too hard and ends up overwhelming herself. She's our sibling as much as we're hers. We gotta help out too. We can't thank you enough for what you did. And for always looking out for Yufa.
How troublesome.
Well, I don't suppose you're all here about my request, are you? You must be Count Edgeldun. You've got some thieves or something ransacking the warehouse here, yeah? Quite right. These warehouses are mainly used by us Roman nobility, but valuables have been disappearing from within them again and again. My own stock may very well be targeted next, hence my search for qualified assistance. But aren't crimes like these the garrison's #1 concern? And security should already be pretty strict with the Governor General's office nearby. Yes and yes, yet even still do the crimes occur right beneath their noses. Seems they've carefully deduced the most opportune moments to slip past the patrols. It's almost as though they're taunting them committing these crimes in broad daylight. Wow, that's pretty daring. Doesn't sound like your everyday thieves. These guys are running off pure spite. And that's why you're looking for ordinary people a noble would never usually hire. Indeed, I may have my praise of Roman, but sacrifices must be made somewhere. You all look to be plenty qualified, enough to handle my altercations at the least. May I ask you to handle patrolling the area? For suitable compensation, of course. We're on the job. You are? Wonderful. And it can't be any more of a drag than my usual nightly rounds. Besides, anyone who manages to sneak past Roman patrols has got my eye. Yeah, no way they're just some run-of-the-mill burglars. Alright, it's decided then. Let's get started. Best of luck. The fate of our precious valuables lies with you. The Count has left this area under our jurisdiction. According to him, the warehouse over there has yet to be targeted by the culprits. As every theft thus far has occurred by day, it would not be odd for them to appear soon. We'll have to not only catch them in the act, but also apprehend them as well. What we need then is the perfect stakeout point. Best that we could split up so we all got our bases covered no matter where they sneak in. Ooh, look at you, Mr. Knight. You've really got this down. Yeah, good idea, Kratos. Let's get to searching. What about here? It's got a direct view of the warehouse while still being hidden. Yeah, let's add it to our list of lookout points. Whew, it's a bit of a climb, but look, you can see both the front and back of the warehouse from up here. Sounds like a perfect spot for a stakeout to me. From in here, this is a bit close to the warehouse itself. Still, it is a suitable location for remaining out of view. Whatever works, we'll count it as a lookout point. We should have enough points to see a warehouse from all sides now. Yep, all that's left is to split up and wait for those thieves to show up. Kaha, I can hardly wait. Adol and his comrades split themselves among the lookout points and began standing guard around the warehouse. And sure enough, before long... Adol, look! They have come. Looks like it. Now let's just make our way over slow and... Oh, what the hell are you? Hey, what happened to slow and steady? Screw that. First mover advantage. This is a real buzzkill though. Looks like they're just 2-bit burglars after all. You think someone who managed to sneak past the garrison put a better fight? Where are the Monstrums here? I'll bet those Roman nobles put you up to this, didn't they? Come on, Hawk, really? What matters most is that he stopped them before the crime was committed, no? Can't argue with that. Plus, he thwarted their break-in right in the middle of the act. Wait, I feel like I've seen that guy before somewhere before. Ugh. Shit, so you bastards are working against us all along then, huh? Fine, bow your heads to those Romans then. You and all the rest of those ignorant masses. Huh? That's some big talk for some small-time klepto to be... Gaston, run! You have to get away. We can't have you caught here. Remember our master plan. Right, I'm sorry for this, guys. Hey! Heh. Huh, always kill when anything can run. After him, Adol. Oh no.
Hey!
Whoa, I almost fell off. Ha, gotcha! You caught Gaston! How did he get on the roof? Was he actually gonna take the chase all the way to the roof? Damn it all! Whew, finally caught up to him. It was tough for even us to keep up. You've got some real fancy footwork. Not enough though. It's not in line for you, pal. Ha ha ha! You Monstrums sure think you're hot stuff, don't you? We've been hearing about your little escapades here and there, you know? Like messing with the Romans and breaking folks out of the prison. Not to mention getting in the way of our operations. Have to admit, you've got us beat. Operations? But in the end, you're just the same as the boss after she slipped out of jail. All the power to make a difference, and you won't use even a bit of it to help Gllian. You'd rather bow down to the Romans and kiss the damn ground they walk on. Where's your prize of Gllian, huh? That rage you used to hold against Romn. I'm not even Gllian.
No.
Neither am I, strictly speaking. You've gotta be kidding me. Fine, forget that part then. Wait, hold on a sec. Is your boss who I think it is? Huh, I'm willing to bet it is. You were part of the Bells of Freedom, weren't you? That's the resistance group that was wiped out 3 years ago. And everything Margot was talking about before. It's up to she who started things to bear the cross as well as to make certain the next generation doesn't stray on the wrong path. She was worrying about you guys the entire time. We of the Resistance have been biding our time for these past 3 years. They may quell a revolt, they may wipe our organization, they may even capture the woman leading our helm, but they will never take our ultimate goal, complete and utter vengeance against Romn. Now the boss has forgotten her pride as a Gllian, though, we've got no other choice. Huh? Just what is it you're all... Over there, it's the Monstrums! And the warehouse thief too, no less. Oh great. Yeah! Oh, we can let him get away, a smoke bomb, he must have had one repaired. Yeah, just you wait. You, the boss, the Romans, all of you. The time will come when we make our move, when the bells of freedom ring. Cough, cough. Are you alright, Jules? Oh, come on. Did he seriously get away? We would do well to do the same. Yeah, we'll have to report all this back to Count Adol, and to Margot at that. Adol and his comrades managed to get away soon after. Once the commotion in the noble district died down, they reported attempted burglary to Count Adol. With that out of their way, they decided to return to Dandelion to tell Margot. How the mighty have fallen. 3 years. I was only absent for 3 measly years. Those idiots didn't give you too much trouble, did they? Oh no, they didn't. It was the members of the Resistance all along. They were responsible for the pickpocketing and scams we put a stop to. I did some digging of my own, but it's the only explanation. Pickpocketing and petty scams were just the tip of the iceberg. I don't condone crime, but if I needed money to help out my friends in the prison, I don't know what I would have done. They were willing to stain their reputation and free their leader. One thing's for sure, they're not going anywhere near the Noble District anytime soon. There's no guarantee that they're not off somewhere hatching up a new plot. I hope not, but who knows what else they're capable of. I'd hope this was just a phase, but I am to blame for failing to lead them on the path of justice. Perhaps I'm unfit to call myself their leader. Humph, you've been breathing that prison stench so long it's got into your head. Ha, yes, perhaps it has. Still, I must carefully consider my actions for the future to come. You can talk to me anytime. I'll help any way I can. Excellent. I'll let you know if something comes to mind. Forgive me for involving you all in this mess. You needn't let it concern you. You must have our business to attend to.
What a snooze.
8,000. Bless it all. How could those young guns of mine be so daft? I'll have to take responsibility for this as their mentor soon enough. Dandelion, a popular hotspot and a magnificent bar all in one. It's amazing how easy it is to relax here, even if you're not much of a drinker. But that aside, the staff seems to be made up of a whole host of weirdos. There's gotta be something going on behind the scenes here, I can feel it. Sounds like another scoop for Newshound Marie. Whew, all this grueling work is putting a fine creak in my back. Are you alright, Mr. Bessa? I can go fetch a poultice for you. I appreciate the sentiment, but I am quite alright. In fact, I've been feeling so robust recently that I must have been working too much. But take it from this old man, be prudent, especially when things appear innocuous. Words to live by, you can just as easily overwork yourself when you're in good shape. It's no surprise, really. Warren Belger's probably been in poor health for a while. Eavesdropping, are you? Any statements you hear or heard are mine alone. I'd best not see you spreading any outlandish rumors about the warden, understood? Pendleton Company hosted a masquerade ball the other day. They said it was to celebrate a boom in business at their branch locations. The Pendletons are drifting further and further from us little folk by the day. Obviously, a small-time stall like ours can't even compare to a corporation like theirs. But we're all still Gllian merchants in the end. I'm not letting us get left in the dust. Word in town is that the knights have really been toiling away as of late. They've been taking on patrols in lieu of the garrison, not to mention guarding the prison. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Master Chowler lately. He must be busy as well. I can only hope they don't all work themselves right into the clinic. On a lighter note, my good friend told me her son's family made some friends of his own. She was just ecstatic for the boy, though truth be told, I feel just the same myself. He must be talking about Mom. I swear, she'd better not be telling him anything weird. Oh, this is so unfair. Everyone's turning over to your guys' side now. You'd better not get cocky just because you're the town favorites now, alright? I'm your real supporter here, more than all those people posers combined even. Okay, we hear you. That's quite the entourage you muster up there, Yufa. But watch out, don't want Felix getting the wrong idea seeing you with another guy. What? No, were you even? Oh, I get you now. Flaunting the catches the eye, eh? Wily tactic, but a classic one. Best of luck, Yufa. Keep at it. Ugh, there's nothing to keep at in the first place. I've lost contact with one of my associates inside the prison. Things are becoming more complicated by the moment. I'll have Arthur conduct reconnaissance. Arthur, is that the owl's name?
Yeah.
That's the situation. And this doesn't normally happen with my clients. But it seems he's taking a liking to you. Treat him well if you see him. Of course, Maxim doesn't seem like a bad guy after all. Or maybe you're just gullible and he's got something to hide. Okay, now I can get a miniature teacup.
You got a good... I see you saw. Nothing.
Find me a harder job than drinking and staying good company from morning till night. My head is pounding like crazy. Guess I'm not as young as I used to be. I haven't seen hide nor hair of Master Shadow or Warren Belger lately. What a shame. I was just thinking of how I missed those spaces of theirs. I see, the spots are beginning to turn to extremism. At this rate, I fear he'll be too far gone for us to make a difference. Yeah, I'm starting to regret not making my stance on all this clearer to him. They were also part of Bells of Freedom? And now the day we agreed upon is fast approaching. Now what's going on here? Sounds like a pretty serious conversation. Wait a minute, isn't that the same peeping Tom from before? Seems he managed to slip away. Maybe another report will do the trick. Oh, you're right, it is the same guy. But, I don't know, it's not like we've heard of any other incidents since. There's not really anything to accuse him of if we report him to the soldiers now. Kinda curious what they're talking about. I guess we gotta pretend we heard Jack. Oh, it would seem you have guests. Whoops, sorry guys. Work's not the place for private condos and all that. Don't mind the old man here. You got any business to take care of? Go ahead. Suspicious. Sorry, I've been a little worried about one of my pals. Even the old man can't do a thing. It's got my head pounding like crazy. Times like this call for a good sightseeing session to help clear out my mind. I suppose I have no choice but to leave things to her. It's been too long. Something about this piques my interest, but I guess it's none of our business for now. Yeah, he was actually looking for patrol routes, not an actual peeping Tom location.
Welcome. How may I be?
Okay, now I can get rainbow earrings. Had to grind a bit off screen.
This one's a limited time offer.
Ugh. My flowers are doing splendidly today. Just look at these wonderful blooms. Well now, if it isn't Joel's friends. I'm so sorry, but he's actually out at the moment. Won't you stay for some tea though? I'll go brew a few pots up right now. Oh, you don't have to do all that. We're only stopping by for a moment. Oh, is that so? In that case, how about I teach you a little useful something instead? I learned this recipe myself over at the main square. It's one of my favorites. Mushroom recipe. Wow, it sounds delicious. Thank you so much, Mrs. Noah. No wonder she's been making so much of this lately. There you are. Be sure you make enough for everyone now. Come to think of it, Joel's been going out a lot lately. I'm glad he's feeling better, but it does make his poor old mom a bit lonely. Okay, donate the mushrooms. Looks delicious.
Delicious.
No milestones. I'm here today as a worshipper before anything else. Our chapter house houses a chapel, but the cathedral is better for soothing the heart. I have no qualms over taking up my sword for Balduq, but nevertheless, at times one is simply filled with the inexplicable need to pray. Seneschal Gilbert is visiting today. I've never seen a space so solemn or grave. I'll reach out to him when the time is right. Lending an ear for worry is a part of duty. The annual Victory Day Festival is fast approaching. Each year we hold a memorial service in honor of all the souls and soldiers lost. And during it, the most beautiful wreaths are put on display in commemoration. We'll be holding the service at the cemetery. Perhaps you'll consider attending. I don't suppose a little nap will cure my exhaustion, will it? Come to think of it, isn't Warren Belger taking an extended leave to recuperate? If he can do it, why can't I? That solves it. I'm sending in a request. Oh, hello there, Miss Krisha. Your father's on a negotiation, Miss Carla is away on an inspection. The two have been very occupied preparing for Victory Day Festival. Though of course you never know it, maintaining appearances is part of their job. Perhaps it's that level of awareness that has brought Pendleton to where it is today.
Find everything you need here.
Miss Krisha, sorry to spring this on you, but thank you for hiring me. I haven't had a single thing to smile about since my husband's passing, but now just displaying flowers or chatting with guests is enough to put one on my face. Until now, I'd only been living a lie. I still would be if it weren't for you. You don't have to thank me for anything, Hana. You worked hard for this. So I'm glad to see you doing so well. I'll be counting on you from here on out.
Take as long as you need. What's wrong? Come back soon, you hear?
Oh, Miss Krisha, guess what? I took a whole bunch of yellow flowers and made a wreath all by myself. It turned out so pretty. I wanted to make sure you got to see it too. Well, I can't say no to that. I'll be back at the shop this evening, maybe. You can show it to me then, okay? I've been working the day labor life ever since Larga set me up with it. But the salary is just a drop in the bucket. I can barely make enough to eat. Shit, if only the white cat came back. Wouldn't have to waste my time on work.
Hey.
By the way, there's a meaning behind the name of this place. Even the poorest of the poor can get a taste of paradise and a good drink. Hence the name Nirvana. But by the same token, I get in more than my share of drunks who refuse to accept reality.
What do you need?
Vintage wine. Ugh. Very expensive.
You got a good need to see ya.
She had to use a little bit of money DLC. There's not enough money DLC either. Well now, you're looking chipper today, Nick dear. Sure am. Look at all this fruit my pal Vesta gave me. He said I caught him in a good mood with all the good work I've been doing lately. Anyway, here, I saved a share for you, Gran. Really now? Oh, you shouldn't have. Try looking up job listings, but it's hard to single out one that feels right. I want to do something fulfilling, something that gives my life meaning. What about this noble family looking for help? It caught my interest at least. Nothing cleanses the soul more than the sweet scent of flowers on the wind. Hana looks so much happier now, working at the florist. And Sue's been having more fun than ever these days. That shop's gone become as essential to us as the sun before we even knew it. I don't know if it's the Monstrums wreaking havoc in the prison or what, but I haven't been getting in nearly enough shipments lately. Where's my goods, huh? Those Romans have got some real stones screwing me over like this.
Welcome.
Looks like the whole economy's held up by prison labor. Oh, you were here just the other day, weren't you? Sorry, but that medical text you were looking for hasn't come in just yet. But don't worry, I've got plenty of reference books and adventure fiction stock. Sounds good, thanks for letting me know. Oh, sounds like someone's been dropping it by in disguise. So you're studying medicine then. Just because I read them doesn't mean I necessarily practice it. My dad ran a clinic out of our house a long time back. I became curious about his work. I started reading medical texts to sate my curiosity. They're actually pretty interesting. I see. Guess his dad must still be on his mind.
I carry only the best. Guaranteed.
Ugh. 5 dragons and reaping Grimoire.
You've got good taste.
5 dragons of Voltago. Brought the Hieroglyph Knight some of my fare this morning, like I usually do. But Seneschal Gilbert and his crew weren't at the chapter house at all. They said they were over at the headquarters, but I'm not even sure where that is. This wandering bard came by singing a song about the 100 Years' War. But get this. In it were parts about other heroes of the time besides the saint. I've certainly never heard of them before, and I've lived in this city all my life. Some gift shop proprietor I am, I'm gonna have to start setting up on this. Well no, I'd say we've looked around enough to see how fine a place Balduq is. I must say, I had high hopes for this Victory Day festival they plan to hold. Certainly, Master Wajun, I was thinking just the same myself. Though if you'll forgive my saying so, we mustn't neglect the purpose of our visit. We are here to identify potential Roman threats to our native Hispani, are we not? Of course, I never forget something like that. Most will use the baths I remember. But that's 600 down the drain.
Nothing caught your eye?
I ran into some real tough luck lately, but I can't stay down about it forever. I mean, how am I supposed to deal in Roman goods if I can't even deal with this? So how about it? If you've got an eye for the novel and unique, look no further.
Maybe next time.
We decided on our grand attraction at the public baths for the festival. We're going to feature special floral baths with roses and gerberas on top. That was the one who came up with it. What do you think? Not bad, right?
Come again, okay?
Money's been tight for Philip, but last he told me, still. I don't know if it's just his new mindset or what, but he seems to be doing a lot better. I worry he wouldn't take to us, being an ex-noble and all, but he's well on the track now. The garrison's chain of command has seemed rather disorderly as of late. A mere consequence of the warden's recent fatigue, or something more? No, I mustn't overthink things. I've been far too skeptical lately.
Please, take a gander.
Well, listen, I've been dying to tell someone this, but my apprentice finally did it. That assignment I gave her was a toughie, but she buckled down and pulled it off. Way to go, Mies. I knew she could do it. Oof, delivery day always does a real number on the old spine. I can see where my mom gets all of her back problems. Don't you ever get that, Trisha? Maybe when, I don't know, changing water out for your plants? I guess. I've been getting a lot of exercise lately, so it shouldn't be too bad, I think. What, exercise? You? Maybe you've been taking this I'll do my best thing too far. Oh, Yupo, I apologize about earlier. I should be ashamed of myself blabbing about other people's private matters. Don't worry about it, Miss Paulette. It was a good chance to air things out. Can I count you again the next time we've got a fresh tasty harvest ready? Oh, Yupo, you know you always can.
Take as long as you need.
Asturian apple. Good thing it's so cheap.
Quite an eye you've got there.
Papa called me a proficient piscator. That's like a really, really good fisher. Fishing's fun and all, but helping Papa out is my favorite part. It was just like Paul said, the net we set out brought in a massive haul. The rest of the neighborhood seemed pretty pleased to share with us too. At times like this makes me feel like being a fisherman isn't so bad after all. You know, there have been less reports of wrongdoing from the Monstrums lately. Just the opposite, actually. More and more talk of being helped by the Crimson King. Even so, it hasn't kept the Monstrums from continuing to wreak havoc at the prison. All their newfound popularity in town is only making it harder to go against them. Well, Vincent Kratos, slacker extraordinaire. I doubt you'd bother noticing this, but so let me fill you on something. Seneschal Gilbert's squad seems to be conducting some sort of operation lately. Whatever it is, they're making plenty of trips outside the chapter house for it. We owe it to Seneschal Lucia not to let ourselves be outdone, don't you agree? Heck, can't wait to see how old Greybeard fits in with all his prison business. Thanks, Huan, you almost caught my interest there for a change. Hey, was that supposed to be a jab? Wait, forget that, listen to me for once. Seneschal Gilbert's been busy, that much goes without saying. But how to put this? His squad seems a lot more hairy than usual lately. They've really doubled down on training, which means more sweat towels to clean. Thanks to that, I've been buried in work myself. Break time's just about all that I get. Hold on, where does Picard even come from? He's a real tasty looking one too. No, he's way too cute to eat. Guess I'll just have to bring a little extra food with me later. Well, hello there, Krisha. It's always nice to have you and friends over for a visit. Actually, Rodaria and I just happened to be talking about our little anemone. Well, you see, I was just thinking that anemone could use a friend of sorts. So we've been discussing putting together a little stuffed animal to keep her company. Oh, that sounds like a lovely idea. Doesn't it? Though I do get the impression that she's already made friends of her own. I imagine she must be paying them visits whenever she goes out on her outings. So there you go, your japes again. Come now, you wouldn't want Krisha and her friends thinking you're off your rocker. Oh, we never think that. It's kind of hard on the heart, having to keep all this from them.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Come think of it, the annual Victory Day Festival is approaching soon, isn't it? I suppose I should prepare a present of sorts, being a special occasion and all. Though frankly, I'm at a bit of a loss on what to make for the little lass. I've just showed Master Giselle the lace she wanted me to sew. And you know what she said? I passed with flying colors. I'm so tired, I'm 5 minutes from passing out right now, but she really liked it. Both the public baths in the Colosseum were built after it became Roman territory. Quite a few of their craftsmen came and settled here during those days. Aspects of their methods have gained merit, and many of them are respected. But resentment is a powerful thing. I doubt it'll ever fade for good. I suffered my first loss in a long while at the strongman event the other day. God, what was his name? Dogi? How does anyone even get that strong? With a punch like his, I wouldn't be surprised if that guy was a monstrum. No, he's really just a regular dude. Until now, I just planned on waiting patiently until my brother got back. But the way things are going, I'll be in for a real screaming at when he does. So I decided to surprise him by honing my artisanal prowess while he's gone. I'll have to prove myself on the sculpting stand if I hope to win his customers over. Alright, time to take all this determination and put it to the chisel. Hello, everyone. I'll be working backstage since today's show is going to be a gladiator match. I've got to do my part to support the Colosseum in every event. That's some dedication. Oh, and Felix, thank you for helping us work on the farm today. As always, Yupo, I'm happy to help out. You don't need to thank me. Besides, the veggies you send me home with give me the energy I need to take on the balls. Not to mention that Mark's a huge help to my dad, so I'd say we're more than even. That does make me feel better about it. Them hieroglyph knights are always sauntering by during their patrols. Can't put my finger on it, but something's been off about them lately. You don't suppose they suspect one of us being a monstrum, do ya? The Colosseum's a wide place. Anyone hoping the MC here needs to know how to project. Ahem. Our next challenger, the man who made a fortune off bullfights. Dazael. Hey, Vin, stop that. You're making me look bad. Desal. That is, if you want to practice your vocals so badly, do it in your own time. Looks like the Colosseum's busy preparing for Victory Day festivities. Bullfighting may be the big thing this year, but the gladiators are no slouches either. Oh yeah, speaking of which, there used to be this real famous gladiator duo. One of them passed away in an accident mid-match 5 years ago. The other gave up the sword and took up a different path altogether. The festival used to be a different kind of exciting with those two. I'll never forget it.
Are you looking for something?
Another gift item. Great.
Come again.
The Knights have been making a lot more patrols than usual recently. I heard they're taking over the Warden's Monstrum hunting while he's on leave. But you know, I'm not sure how I feel about them going about this nowadays. With all that's happened, I'd say I'm more in the Raging Bull's corner than anything else.
Hope to see you again soon.
Every now and then, one of those Knights will stroll on by patrol. And every time they'll just shoot me the nastiest death glare. What did I do wrong? Don't tell me they know about me eating Felix's lunch. I swear it was an accident. Sometimes we face off against prisoners. We get some real characters in a bunch. These oddballs dressed like monstrums, and they were absolutely mind-boggling. They were strangely clever too. I'd really rather not face them again. Seriously, those three? Snort, huff. When you're feeling down and out of sorts, there's no better cure than a good old exercise. That's why Perseverus and I have been running up and down the road from dusk till dawn. This will get him back up to speed. I just know it. Damn those blessed monstrums. How dare they help Margot escape? Are they the part of old resistance? Maybe they're planning another rebellion. We'll need to redouble our efforts to catch them once the Warden returns. I've looked into just about all the information the city had on the heroes of the 100 Years' War. So I hired a mercenary to help me check out the ruins on the outskirts of town. There I ran into this older gentleman who's been researching something similar. And as it turns out, he's already made a veritable amount of discoveries. Balduq surely is the gift that keeps on giving. They say the noble district has fallen victim to thievery. It's simply dreadful. Rumors of the monstrums may be abound, but we mustn't overlook the pettier criminals. Unlike other districts, both the knights and the garrison are posted here, but even so. A little birdie landed on my shoulder when I was hanging my laundry to dry. Then a bunch of more came and gathered on the clothesline and started to sing. They even let me join in the choir. Now that made me one happy girl. But did they poop on your laundry? My mom says the monstrums have been hanging out a lot lately. She always sees them jumping across rooftops together. Yeah, apparently they've got the doll, the Raging Bull, and the Renegade now too. Oh man, the monstrums are already awesome, but altogether they're like mega awesome. I want to be a monstrum when I grow up too. We could free the other Adol right now if we could just get past this barrier, huh? I've been seeing a lot of those hieroglyph knights around at the prison. Correct me if I'm wrong, but ain't the place under the Roman's jurisdiction? That hostess uniform is just about the cutest thing I've ever seen, Yufa. Would that I could work a trendy spot like that myself. Then I could finally catch me a beau of my own. Then that even a score between us. Kaya, stop it. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Welcome.
This year's harvest has been so abundant. We've been struggling just to keep up. But we won't solely our farming pride missing out on a scrumptious bumper crop like this. Felix is lending us a hand as well, so I'm sure we'll manage if we all pull together. Apparently the culprits got away, even after the monstrums gave chase. But they won't be able to roam so brazenly now that we know the ringleader's name. We won't need to worry for the time being. Allow me to thank you for your aid as well. Thank you once again for your efforts, everyone. It's a shame the culprits weren't caught, but they were stopped is well enough. We'll have to bolster our security moving forward as well. We'll be back for another side quest. I really enjoy how few noble families there are here in Balduq. No cliques, no factions, no prominent pedigrees to fawn over. It's quite nice. Though I do feel bad the Gllian nobility were stripped of their titles, of course. Still, the good outweighs the bad compared to how things were in Romn. Baron is the type to complain about anything and everything. It's exhausts me just listening to whatever trade he feels like going on. So how long will it take to apprehend those atrocious monstrums? With the warden in charge of the prison, the responsibility falls to the knights, no? We've left the matter up to them, yet what do they have to show for it? If they're so intent on refusing to act, they may as well just disband entirely. A dear friend of mine is a musician with a strikingly avant-garde sense of taste. I found him missing, but he'd actually been living on a deserted island after a shipwreck. Yeah, I think we recruited him to help with the fight off the to help defend the base. He seemed more sensible upon his return somehow, like a man of great caliber. Though his artistic flair hadn't waned, he began painting these beasts, primordials. Those works, they possess such force, such intensity, I was simply blown away. I'll concede that he's grown as an artist, but I won't let him get the best of me. Primordials, huh? Guy must be nuts to go through all that trouble just to draw them. Whew, it seems the arson attempt has been contained as of now. But the culprit behind this incident has yet to be apprehended. The monstrum's involvement is suspected, but the details are still under investigation. Apologies if we caused you any concern. We really do appreciate your understanding. Yeah, of course. You covering for that smart aleck rat? Well, we can't exactly drop the former royal family of Gllian by name, can we? In fact, it benefits us not to, so I'm not sure I see a problem here. We've been getting a lot of questions about the Cardinal. Apparently he left a message when he disappeared. Something about leaving the rest up to us. To tell you the truth, the search party's been pretty small thanks to that note. Honestly, we're just kind of waiting for him to come back on his own. I tried studying the 100 Years' War to find out more about that recent ghost. It was quite a struggle, and there was much I didn't manage to grasp, but it seemed almost like a fairy tale, with gods and heroes, and even a saint. And soon the Victory Day Festival will be upon us as well. I'm really looking forward to it. Talk about the ghost of the heritage site has dropped off considerably. It appears my lady has forgotten about her fear of the wretched thing as well. What's more, she's decided to study Gllian history of her own accord. So long as this spurred her in the right direction, that's what counts in the end. Alright, I need to give out some presents before I even think of trying to do the next Nox. Just to give myself as many advantages as possible. Asteria and Apple. Hey, if I'm not mistaken, this is from Asteria. That's right, Balduq has trade relations with Asteria, doesn't it? No more trading silver, though. Huh, it takes me back. That's where we met 7 years ago. We saw Rabba and Kanan, but I'm curious to see how Goba and the others are holding up. Let's send them a letter. I wonder how the villages are doing. Yeah, like Minia and Septic Village. Maybe even Lance Village, the place where that girl saved you. But it is a good time to send a letter. They must be just as curious to hear from you. We'll be here talking about old times all day if we don't stop now. Anyway, now that we've got this apple as a snack on when we get a break, we can continue our trip down memory lane then. When had KO leveled up? Okay. Vintage wine.
Adol. Well now.
Ooh, you got your hands on the good stuff, I see. Huh, well, isn't this a kicker? Take a look at the vintage year. It's the very same year my son was born. You have a son? A family, can't even imagine. Surprised, are you? I take offense to that, you know? My son was as kind a man as could be, though he certainly didn't get it from me. The boy practically lived in harmony with the world itself from the day he was born. He was my business advisor too, in fact. Even Pendleton recognized his abilities. He truly was too good a son for me. What happened to him? The path of virtue doesn't always lead in your favor. That boy, he couldn't stand to see so many of his countrymen called to war, so he volunteered as a captain, and lost his life soon after, as did his beloved comrades.
That's right.
But I didn't found the resistance to avenge his death or anything so crude. No, I had but one goal in mind. To make Gllian the country he so dearly loved, a land we could all look to with pride. But the way things are now, what do you do with the resistance? As if I tell the likes of you. I'm only joking, of course. Suffice it to say, Romn and Gllian's relationship is not as it was back then. The same could be said of our resistance. That's the painful part. Chain yourself to those days and they'll never end. You're a kind woman. Our worldviews are pretty different. You give me too much credit. I did lead an insurrection, you know. Well, now, just how this conversation turned so gloomy. Why don't we lighten it up with a drink? That is what you brought it for, no? Roy will continue to keep Adol in her company, letting him go only when the bottle is empty. Rousing speech leveled up. Give 5 dragons.
Adol.
Give Jules the folklore book, The 5 Dragons as a present.
Huh.
This book is about the 5 dragons of Otago. Thanks, Adol. I promise I'll take care of it. I mostly have access to academic books, but these are the books I prefer. By the way, Adol, have you ever been to Otago? I battled those very 5 dragons. I know the princes and elders of the 5 tribes.
Huh?
Wait, the legendary dragons worshipped by the 5 tribes of Otago? You're remarkably insouciant for being the one who defeated the legendary dragons.
Honestly...
I guess that's what makes you famous.
Hey.
If you don't mind, will you tell me more about it? Wouldn't want to miss any of Adol the Red's stories told from none other than himself. Back when the camera angle wasn't dynamic. Back when it was fixed and not easier to use. You recounted the tales of Otago that transpired a year ago. Dogi joined in on the storytelling midway through with his own riveting annotations. Miniature teacup. This teacup is a children's plaything, is it not? Upon closer inspection, it is quite a beautiful piece. Adol, will you accompany me for a moment? Drip, 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 tiny teapot. Enjoy! Thanks, Anemona. It smells great. You're pretty good at this, Anemona. Does it? I will take your word for it. Is something bothering you?
What's wrong?
No, it's nothing. The design on this cup is of Saint Rosvita. Anemona becomes lost in thought. You tell her she has nothing to worry about. I understand. Yes, it felt as though a lost memory was returning to me. But as you said, I have no need to worry. I have plenty of time to remember. I'm grateful to you for your company, Adol. I greatly value your friendship. Dull perception leveled up. Rainbow earrings. What's this for me? Oh goodness, what an honor. I can't remember the last time I received a gift from such a handsome man. Oh, Adol, as if you haven't already won my heart over. Still, earrings, I never imagined I would ever wear another pair. That's right, you only ever wear those. Are your earrings important to you? Yes, they're more dear to me than anything else I own. They're a symbol of a promise I made to a comrade, a partner whom I owed my life to.
You know...
Years ago, I was a gladiator at the Colosseum. Surprising, right? After the Romans took over, they built a Colosseum. It was 8 years ago. In my younger days, I was a bit of a hellion myself. That's when I met him. He told me something I'll never forget. Let's spice things up in this town. Until it's filled with the same vivacity that used to illuminate every street and alley. He and I wore these earrings, a matching pair, as a reminder of that oath. But after a tragic accident during a Colosseum battle, he passed away. After that, I retired and decided to pursue a career as a chef, a long-time goal of mine. I traveled the world to hone my cooking, and that's how I met the Pelotons. It was my friendship with Carla that brought me here, to the Dandelion. There's no need for commiseration. Us gladiators are always prepared for the worst. Besides, Balduq has changed much over the past 8 years, for the better. After the annexation, there was a bleak cloud that hung over it that I thought would never disappear. But now we have bullfighting, strongman competitions, and many other exciting events. My only regret is that he's unable to see his home become the town he yearned it for it to be. But you know, Adol, the iridescent stones within these earrings have a deeper meaning. They remind us to set the past free. I really shouldn't let the past inhibit my future. Thank you, Adol, darling. I will cherish these earrings dearly. In return, I wouldn't object to going on a date with you, should you ask. Okay, another upgrade. Ointment, huh? I've never gotten one as a gift before. Oh, sorry, I'm not trying to sound ungrateful or anything. I often take a beating in training, so this should come in handy. Thank you. It just reminds me of how my older brother would bring me to someone that got hurt training. Yeah, a big brother? Yes, had being the operative word. He was the best I could have asked for. But at this point, I'm already older than he was when he died. It was during the war with Romn, 8 years back. He and the Master were the best of friends. They even made a note for Gllia's future. We will bring to pass a Gllia where all may live in warmth and joy. Where none must suffer or weep any longer. They'd always shine so brightly, and there I was in their shadows, trying to catch up. And after the war, Master Shadowlord invited me to join the Hieroglyph Knights. Not for a fondness of my brother, but a need of my help as comrades defending Gllia together. But now it's as if I don't even know him anymore, not in the way I thought I did. Without realizing, I deposed him, wound up in chains, and ended up saved by all of you. And now it feels like I'm even deeper in the dark of the shadows than ever before. I can help you with sword training. That's true, and training is about all I can do for now. In fact, I'd actually love the chance to have you as a sparring partner. It'd do me good to see the skill of one who's bested the soldiers and knights so often. Either way, this ointment's going to come in handy a lot sooner than we thought. But you know what, Adol? I'm looking forward to it. Let's challenge it.
It's the Grimwald Nox again.
A new path should open once we overcome this.
There's something here that's more powerful than anything we've seen so far. I can feel it.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Adol, we don't know what we're dealing with. Let's be careful.
Monstrums, the time is nigh. Under the red moons, the wicked and the defiant shall be punished. Ascend into this unbreaking night. Unsheathe your curse and smite the darkness.
Okay, seems to be a standard siege, hopefully.
All right, let's clean house. Knock him out, Kratos.
Yeah.
King Kong, shatter to face.
I will not permit it.
Shatter to face.
You cannot escape.
Don't let up.
It's down.
Pull our strength.
Hanging in there? Let's get a little wild, shall we?
Backing up. The most impressive field.
Excellent work, everyone.
Be prepared for the next.
Oh my goodness!
Don't let up! All together, everyone!
Not bad.
Oh, ambush!
Ready, haste!
Still back here.
Is everyone okay? An ambush.
Ambush, huh? Not bad.
Maybe this will help.
Oh hell!
That is new!
Oh, I realized I can actually switch out Sacramentals during the whole thing. That might actually be a good idea. Yeah, instead of attracting dropped items, I'll just use Iron Harrier Ring so I can manage resources better. Yeah. That would be a better idea.
Let us regroup at once.
Oh my goodness.
That might be a clear path.
Ready, haste!
Here, take this.
An ambush, huh? Not bad.
Give it a whirl.
You must remain calm.
The most impressive
An ambush, huh? Not bad.
An ambush. You must remain calm.
You need only endure a bit longer.
Oh, they now are coming from here.
On my way. It's down.
This bodes well for the future.
Hold out just a bit longer.
Oh no.
Losing's not an option.
Whoa, did it just teleport?
Together, guys.
Immediate treatment required.
Looks like you could use a little relief.
Time to wrap this up!
A little love solves everything.
I will pave the way. For the peace of our city.
Time I made an appearance. No need for courtesy in battle.
I knew you had it, Adol.
Whew.
Impressive.
S rank, okay.
I hope you manage to keep this up.
Man, I wish I was a monstrum.
The Grimwald Nox. This brings to mind the depiction on the murals in the catacombs.
Judging from them, the Grimwald Nox must be a recurring ancient phenomenon.
What is the Grimwald Nox really?
You could say it was constructed in order to purge the world Grimnir created.
Grimnir. That's the chief god of the Norse religion, ain't it? What's your angle, Aprilis? It's been like pulling teeth with you. So what's with the change of heart?
I simply felt it was the right time. I believe you're now ready to hear what I have to tell you.
This better be worth the wait.
What did you mean by purge the world?
Since humans first walked the earth, they have defiled it with their evils. Hatred, sorrow, greed, despair. Each warping our perception of the world. Although the world itself remained unchanged, the cynicism of mankind festered. This enmity accumulates quickly and is difficult to dispel. When left to amass, it eventually gives rise to monsters. In ancient Gllian, they called them Lemures.
And we've been fighting them this whole time.
Lemures are the culmination of the residual enmity of humans.
Yes. Long ago, with Grimnir as their leader, the gods descended upon this land. They created a place where they could purge the evils born from humans to restore peace. They called that place the Grimwald Nox.
So that's where it came from. But the ones fighting in the mural were Grimnir's demigods. Does that mean we're fighting in place of the gods who are no longer here?
That is partially true. One can easily imagine the consequences of leaving the Lemures unimpeded. All semblance of order in Gllian would utterly vanish.
That's terrible.
Crimson King, you will find what remains of the truth within the prison.
So there is something there.
Or you could just tell us now and save us all the trip.
I've already told you. You must see the truth for yourself before making your choice. You've all prevailed through much already. I have faith that you will continue to do so. Now then, I bid you all good luck.
It appears the barrier to the quarry has now dissipated.
All right, we can get through now.
So the Grimwald Nox exists to dispel negative emotions. I never could have imagined.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it either.
But I still don't get what the prison has to do with it. Then again, that cesspool of negative emotions is a prime breeding ground for Lemures.
That is unlikely to be the only reason.
Well, we're not learning anything by just standing around. The sooner we get there, the sooner we can find out.
Looks like it's here.
The enemy just tried to attack me while I was near the save point. That's really bad placement. Challenge.
Monstrums, the time is nigh. Under the red moons, the wicked and the defiant shall be punished. Ascend into this unbreaking night. Unsheathe your curse and smite the darkness.
Ugh. Not good. There's just too many elevations. I'll never get them all that quickly.
Let's get this started.
It's over!
Oh my goodness, this is horrible.
For the peace of our city.
Oh wait, if I use the Gale shoes, I can just run to them.
All charged up. Took a fair bit of time.
Crimson Wine! Do you require assistance?
There's too many of these guys.
Charged up.
Oh, the barrier.
This way. All charged up.
Keep this up!
Crimson Wine!
Where are you going?
Crimson Wine!
Ugh.
Can't stay afraid forever. Watch out! They're right over there!
Here's our chance! Don't let it slip away!
Down!
Okay, Laura Knight, let's just find it. Oh fuck, that's an ugly
Here I go!
one.
Round and round! Is everyone okay? Round, charge it up! Let's fix it! Now I'm feeling ready! Here! Take this! Round we go! Up, down! Round and round!
I am en route.
Round and round! Round and round!
I can see right through them.
Oh, we already killed it. That was much easier than the previous purge. All I can be destroyed, but I wonder if there are any enemy types I missed. I'm gonna have to do it again.
Impressive.
S ranked?
I'd expect no less from all of you.
All in a day's work.
Thanks for tuning in to this Let's Play of Ys IX Monstrum Nox. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and or hit that bell icon.